All right. And I think, let me scroll over here. All right. All right, guys. So happy Monday. Hope you guys are doing awesome. I am crazy stressed, I will tell you guys. Moving is so stressful. And we just closed and we finished building, but there's so much going on this week. I'm just surprised I got this call done. But I did take a lot of notes on this call. I did not create slides, but I'm going to be reading from a lot of my notes. But you guys can have your notes open. If you guys are reading, Get Over Your Damn Self. This is from a chapter in this book, and it's actually the chapter that's called The Bullshit Story We Tell Ourselves. But I didn't label our call that. I was trying not to be swearing too much, but I just talked about it more as the objections that we put on ourselves, because that's what this chapter is all about, is the excuses. We hear it all the time from like our people that we're talking to about coaching, the people that we're talking to about challenge groups, right? We hear, I don't have time, I don't have money, I can't right now, I'm not ready. So many different excuses we get every single day. But have you ever thought about the excuses that you put on yourself every day? How many times have we said things to ourselves when we sit down to work the business, and then somehow we get distracted, or we really convince ourselves that we're just not either good enough, or we're not, we don't have time to do the right things that we need to be doing. So I went through this chapter, and there's so many more excuses than what I am going to talk about on this call, but I took away, I think the top, let me see, top 8 or 9, I think 8, yes, 9. The top 9 excuses that we tell ourselves that really resonated with me that I could talk to you guys about. The other ones I just kind of left because it didn't really personally relate to me. But you think about it all the time, we have a million reasons that we can think of every day of why we don't want to grow this business big, or why we can't grow it big. And most of the common excuses, you know, you may be telling yourself are things that you hear every day, every single day, that you're messaging back people back and forth. And you guys know it, right? You get an excuse from someone and you're like, dude, that's BS. Like someone will tell you, you don't have time to work out, right? Or I don't have time to work out. And you're like, yes, you do. You have 30 minutes in a day, just like I do. You know, I have 4 kids running around. I get my workout done. You can do it too, right? You call BS on that. You know, we do. I do all the time. Like, dude, you have time to work out. If I can do it, you can do it. So during all these excuses, like I definitely can say, you know, BS to all these excuses that we can have with our coaching business. So I'm going to just go through, talk about the excuses, and you guys can feel free to ask any questions, pop in with any experiences that you've had, maybe that you've had, you know, experiencing these excuses. But so we're going to talk about the excuses, what's behind each excuse, and then how to kind of move past them to kind of free yourself and just bust through those excuses to grow your business. All right, so the number 1 excuse is, I don't have time. You guys guessed it. We talk about it all the time. I don't have time. Okay, that's the most prevalent BS in our profession. Okay, we hear it all the time with coaching, we hear it all the time with the business. But you really have to turn I don't have time and think about it like you're saying it's not a priority on my list, right? If you switch everything around, like I don't have time to get my workout in. Well, my workout's not a priority. Obviously it is to us. We really work out and run this business. That's part of our daily to-do list. But with the business, it might be a little harder for you to squeeze in that business. Yes, you get your workout in, you get your personal development, but maybe you tell yourself, I don't have time, to do the things that I need to do to grow this business. But I'm telling you guys, until it's a priority, you'll have time management problems. Because if you're not making it a priority on your list, it's just not going to get done. It's going to be easier to do the things that are easy, right? There's so many things in this business that are hard, and I can name a few that I thought were hard in the beginning. Talking to people about coaching was always so hard for me in the beginning. And I use that excuse all the time, right? I just said I didn't have time because it was something that I didn't want to do. It was something that I would rather just talk to people about challenge groups, right? That's easier than talking to people about coaching. But if it's not a priority, it's going to be easy to avoid those things. So you have to make the hard things a priority, you guys, because the hard things are the most important things in your business. The hard things are what's going to move you forward in this business. If you're not talking to people about coaching, you're not going to be building a team. And building a team is the most important thing in this business that's going to create that residual income to help you grow, okay, in the long term. So look at your life in the same way that I'm talking to you guys about this excuse. We find time for everything that's important in our life, right? We find time for vacation. We kind of move around our work schedule. We find time for vacation. We find time for, we move around our meetings during our workday to be able to go to our kids' soccer game. You know, that's a priority, right? Hair appointments, you know, that's a priority. We're going to move around things in our schedule to make sure we get our hair done. Okay, that's a priority. But why do we think of our business as not being a priority, right? So, you know, instead of saying, I want you guys to really challenge yourselves, and instead of saying, I don't have time to do this certain thing, say, I don't have a priority to do this certain thing, and see how it changes your mindset, okay? I've definitely started practicing that as well after reading this book, and it definitely has changed the way I think about things when I sit down to do my work, okay? So let's say I don't have time to reach out to 3 new people today, right? That's what I'm saying. Say it's not a priority for me to reach out to 3 new people today. Sounds a lot different, right? Totally sounds different. And I'm going to get it done. If I'm telling myself that I don't have a priority to reach out to 3 new people, heck yeah, I'm going to get it done, right? I'm not going to say I don't have time. Okay, so the number one thing that you guys need to be making time for is prospecting. Okay, you have to be making time for prospecting. Personal recruiting and training new coaches should be at least 80% of your business time. Okay, 80%. I know it sounds big, right? It does. I remember hearing that statistic a long time ago. It wasn't even just in this book. I heard the 80% thing and I was like, wow, you know, like I'm in my challenge group so much and I'm talking to people, you know, I'm doing all this stuff. I'm scrolling the news feed. I'm doing things that I shouldn't be doing that is not growing my business. But get those things done first, okay? Start your day with your personal recruiting. Start your day with your inviting and your following up and your training new coaches. Reach out to new coaches every single day on your team. Okay, a couple different new coaches every single day. Ask them how they're doing. Ask them if they need any help, okay? Those are the things that come first because, yes, they're hard, but they're going to push you further in the business, okay? Here's what I want you guys to do, okay? Here's a little challenge. I want you guys to write down what you're doing each and every day, okay? I don't care if it has to do with a business or, you know, whether you went to go run groceries, or you went to go take a potty break, or you called a friend, or you texted your coaches. Whatever you're doing every single day, write it down. And then if there's something on that list that is not helping you reach your goals and it's not at the top of that priority list, put a red X in it, and that red X will just really tell you that you need to do that later on, okay? You need to do that after you get the priority stuff done, okay? So, you know, I say this all the time. Here are like the 4 things that I always get done first, okay? These are the tasks that are really going to help push your business forward. Your invites, okay, to challenge groups, to coaching, that's number 1. Follow-up can run right in there, okay? So I do my follow-ups right along with my inviting. I get those things done first. Number 2, train new coaches on the basics. Do not leave your new coaches hanging. Make sure you're checking in with them. Make sure you're getting started right calls on with them. It's so important. You know, those first few weeks and first month or 2 of your new coach's business is so important. You have to be there for them. Number 3 is meet and add new people. Every single day, you got to be adding to your list. If you're not adding to your network, you're not going to have new people to invite. You're not going to have new people to add to your challenge groups, okay? And then number 4 is just recognition and praise. This is something that came later on in the business for me because I didn't really get it in the beginning. But it's so important to me now, and I want to do it every single day. So find something every day to praise someone about, whether it's in your challenge groups or your coaching, in your coaching page. Make sure you have something to, either it's private message or shout them out on your page. You've got to do that every single day. Okay, it's a part of our business. Okay, so, you know, try to like really, you know, there's this little voice in your head that takes over that will always say that this is really too hard, right? This is hard for me. It makes you vulnerable, right? Those little things like talking to people about coaching will make you vulnerable. Those are the things that are going to push you. I'm getting some feedback here. I'm going to mute everyone. Okay, sorry. All right. So that was all number 1, okay? Number two excuse for not growing your business. I'm already talking to enough people, okay? That can never be something because you can never be talking to enough people, okay? I kind of have to laugh at that one because it's just never enough. You can never have enough people. Every single day I'm adding to my list. I'm starting new conversations. I'm talking to new people. So you really have to double the amount of people. If you think, okay, I'm talking to 5 people a day, double that, okay? I encourage you guys to double the amount of reach outs that you make in 1 week, okay? It's a challenge. And here's an awesome, awesome quote, okay? Listen to this. I didn't know I was talking to enough people until I started talking to enough people. Whoa, right? Let me say it again. I didn't know I was talking to enough people. I didn't know I wasn't talking to enough people until I started talking to enough people. It's so simple, right? But it sounds like, I mean, it's like boom, right? That is the truth. If you aren't talking to enough people, it's going to feel like you're not, okay? But when you start to double those things, you're going to be like, wow, now I really am talking to people and all these new conversations are starting and I have more people to talk to and I have more people to follow up with, right? It really is a common thing to trick yourself into thinking that you're talking to enough people when you're really not. Okay. So you can use any method you want. They talk about in this book using the 5-3-2 method. I kind of just do the power fives. I like to stick with the power fives, and I've talked to my coaches about the power fives. But in this book, they talk about the 5-3-2 method. It's 5 new people, 3 follow-ups, and 2 check-ins with your coaches. Okay, it's simple. Just doing that every single day. And if you are going backwards, ask yourself this question. If you feel like you're stagnant in your business, you feel like you're going backwards and taking backward steps, ask yourself every single day, how many people have I reached out to? How many people have I talked about the business this week? How many people have I talked to about challenge groups this week? It truly is a wake-up call when you do ask yourself those questions. You really can't beat the numbers. This is a numbers game. I know I say it all the time. It's a numbers game. But you really can't BS the numbers, right? You can't BS the numbers. So if you're adding new coaches or customers, if you're not adding enough coaches or customers, you're not talking to enough people, plain and simple, right? So talk to new people every single day, every single day. This business is a numbers game, okay? All right, that's number 2. Number 3, I've recruited enough people. Right? I've brought in enough people to this coaching business. My team is where it needs to be. Like, that's it. I don't need to recruit anymore. Okay. That's oftentimes an excuse that people make. So let's just say someone says, I've recruited 20 or 40 people and I'm not having the success that I thought I would. Okay. And really, if it took that small amount of number, would you hear? I mean, you'd hear a lot more stories about successful stories in our business, right? If it took that amount. But here's a statistic that this Richard Bliss Brooke found when he talked to hundreds of successful network marketers. He found that they all recruited 100 people in their first 2 years. So if you're in your 3rd year and you've recruited fewer than 50 people, that's a hint, okay? That's just from what the statistics that he did with the hundreds of people that he talked to, right? And I can sit here and tell you, in the beginning, I was recruiting 3 to 5 people a month, okay? And that was great. That's something that I tell my new coaches. If you want to grow the business, that is a rate that will build your business. But, you know, if you really want to find those people in your business that are going to take you to the next level, you just have to simply recruit more people to your business, okay? Because not everybody's going to stick with it. Not everybody's going to gel. Not everybody's going to want to, like, build the business. You know, maybe they'll want to be a discount coach. Maybe they'll want to just do this hobbyist thing, right? Do it a hobby. But here's the challenge, okay? Commit to bringing in 25 people in the next 6 months in your business, and then 25 more people the next 6 months, okay? That's 50 people in a year. Think about the changes that will happen if you add 50 people in a year to your business. How many more people you'll have to run with you in this business. So even if you don't hit it, it's okay, you guys. Like, what do they say? Shoot for the moon, you'll land in the stars, right? Totally okay to do that, okay? Because pushing yourself in this business is so important. You have to set high goals for yourself, okay? You'll be closer to your goals than you ever have been if you do just start adding more people. Even if you don't reach that exact goal, you'll be closer to your goal, okay? And I promise you, among those 50 people, you'll find those people that are ready and willing to run with you, okay? All right, number 4. I'm being coachable, but nothing is happening. I hear this a lot, okay? I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm talking to people. I'm adding people, but nothing's happening. So here's the thing. If you're 100% coachable, you'd be seeing success in your business, okay? So here's the deal, guys. You have to be picking up the phone. Okay, this is huge for me. And when she said this in the book, it was such a huge, not a huge wake-up call, but I was like, oh, you know, this is something I do, and it really changed my business. And I have been talking to you guys about it, but the difference of hiding behind message and hiding behind text is that they don't hear you. They don't really feel like they know you as well. But once you pick up that phone, it's a whole nother level, you guys. It's a whole nother level, okay? There's just this feeling of when someone talks to you and you can really resonate with them and you can tell them how you're feeling and they can tell you how, you know, what they really want out of this. There's no comparison to the phone, okay? No comparison to the phone. Pick it up. You know, I challenge you guys to do that. Pick up the phone. Are you being consistent with your business every single day? That's a question you need to ask yourself every day. Am I being consistent? I know it's simple. We say it all the time. Consistency is key. You have to be consistent in your business. Yes, there's times when life happens, right? God, right now is happening to me, but I'm still consistent every day. I'm like, okay, I got to post on social media. I have to add a few new people a day. I have to follow up with at least 5 people. I get the basics done, even though I'm running to go help move furniture. And even though I'm not to the Success Club goals yet, I'm still pushing, okay? Even if I'm not at my goal. I know what this business can do for you guys, and I know what it's done for myself because I've been consistent, okay? But you have to be truthful with yourself. Are you being consistent? All right, number 5. I love this one. I've got a rock star. I don't need to keep going in the business. I've got this rock star. She's doing amazing, right? I don't stop there. You know, I have rock stars on my team. They're killing it. But I don't stop there, okay? And maybe you think you have a rock star. I know this. I've had this happen sometimes where someone reaches out to me and they say they have this runner. They're doing awesome. And you look and they're not. You know, they're meeting the minimum requirement. They're not really doing the things that they need to be doing to be what I call, you know, rock star or runner in your business. So be honest with yourself. You know, do you have a runner or do you have a dabbler or a hobbyist or someone just doing the minimum to stay active? Okay. Never stop looking for that rock star. Even if I have a rock star, I'm always looking for that person that's going to help me grow and that I can help them, right? That I'm always like, gosh, I see what this business has done for the rock stars in my business. I see that they've, you know, quit full-time jobs and they're now at home. And I see that and it pushes me even harder because I'm like, dude, if this can happen for Michelle or Megan and they're, you know, working less hours now and they quit their full-time job and I see the lifestyle that they've created, I want to do it more. I want to help more people for that to happen too, right? I want to create more rock stars, okay? So I'm constantly looking. I never stop. So if you are spending time with the ones that aren't really growing your business, that are just dabbling or hobbyists or, you know, doing this for the fun of it or the discount, you'll miss an opportunity to find that person that is really going to rock this with you, okay? So the rock stars, in my opinion, follow the system to the letter. They reach out to new people every single day. They invite a lot, okay? They're constantly messaging. They invite a lot. They talk about coaching and they share about the coaching opportunity. They add coaches each month and they don't stop. And they're consistent with all of those things. That to me is what a rock star is. So if you're sitting there and you don't have someone on your team that's doing those things, you should still be looking, okay? Investing in the dabblers will hold you back. And maybe that's another thing, you know, a reason that's it's hard. It's hard to do those things. It's hard to keep looking for rock stars. It just feels like it's hard sometimes. But those are the things that you need to do. You have to get those done. Okay, so number 6, I can only sell things. I can only sell. Oh, BS. Like I call BS on this one so much. And this one I like almost just like the words popped off the page when I read this book. It's just wrong. You can't just sell things. It's just not true. I know there are people on our team that are amazing recruiters and sometimes they're like, I have such trouble like recruiting, right? But it's just not. The real problem is that you're leading with the products, okay? You're leading with the products and you're not talking enough about the coaching opportunity. A lot of these people that you talk to about coaching, you can simply just, if they're not ready for coaching, talk about the products, talk about your challenge groups and how you can help them stay. You know, there's a lot of people that, stay fit and healthy. There's a lot of people that I get that talk to me about coaching that they're not maybe ready. They just aren't ready for the coaching aspect. And I'm like, hey, well, what brought you to this? What inspired you to reach out to me about coaching? And oftentimes it's, well, I really just want to get fit and healthy. I want to be there for my kids. I want to, run around with them. I want to have energy. I want to look good this summer, right? So I then lead in with the products, okay? So I didn't take too much from this chapter because she does I think her business, the author of this book, her business is more of, I don't know if it's lotions or something, but it's not fitness. So it didn't touch me the same way. But I just wanted to tell you guys that you have to be presenting people with a coaching opportunity. Okay. And oftentimes when people do say that it's, they're selling and they're not signing enough coaches, to me, it's that they're not sending enough messages about coaching. They're not reaching out to enough people about coaching. They're not sharing on their Facebook wall enough about coaching, what it's done for them. So it's kind of a reality check when I talk to people about it and like, well, how many people have you reached out to about coaching today? Or, how many times on your page have you talked about, what coaching has done for you or what kind of lifestyle it's created for you? All right, number 7, I don't want to be the person that people want to run away from. Like that's, right? You don't want to be that salesy person that people don't ever want to talk to. Well, good. Like that's so good. I don't want you guys to be that person. I didn't want to be that person when I started coaching. I was so scared to be that person. But this is just something that we get in our heads. Okay, this is something that's in our heads. Reaching out to people about the products and business is bothering them. But it's not bothering them if you are approaching it the correct way, though. Okay, there are ways that will be bothering them. If you're posting links over your page, if you're sending links to people and just simply jumping in there without getting to know them and talking to them about challenge groups and coaching before you even ask them about their family life or them as a person, of course that's not cool. And they're going to think you're just out to sell them and they're going to run away from you. Okay. You have to build that relationship first. I know we talk about it all the time, but you have to build that relationship, get to know them. So to get past the scary part, think about the next message that you send and who that person could be, right? So what if you knew the next person you talk to needs extra income to get out of a broken marriage? What if you knew the next person that you talk to was so desperate to lose weight, but they have zero support? Think about it that way, okay? And get that mindset in your head that, oh my gosh, this next person, I could help save their life, right? Or I could really help them to have more energy because her husband has cancer and she needs to be in my challenge group so she can have support to support her husband and to take care of her kids because her husband can't right now. Okay, think about those stories, right? Those are the people, or that's the reason that pushes me every day I didn't always want to send out these messages. There's days when I don't want to do that at all. There's days that I don't want to send a single message. But I think about those stories where I've helped people that it's really helped them to change their lives. And I think about the people in my challenge groups and how amazing they're doing. And I want to touch more people, right? It's about the lives that we're saving and about the lives that we're helping. All right. So, what if the next person you call is trying to find an identity outside of being a mom, a wife, and misses the social financial benefits of working, right? So what if the person that you're talking about coaching really wants, I've had that happen where I've dug deeper and I've talked to people on the phone about coaching. I've said what really do you want this for? And she goes, well, I'm a stay-at-home mom and I feel like that's all I am. And I need something for myself. That's where I was, right? That's where I was when I started. And that's what got me going in this business because I needed an identity outside of being a stay-at-home mom. I needed that identity in my life and I needed to feel like I could do something, that Brian wasn't making all the money, that I could possibly make money and help my family financially, right? That could be the next person you talk to. Okay, so get over that fear and just go to it, get to it. And guess what, you guys, for the right people, you have a gift you're holding. And I say it all the time, but don't decide for someone if, they're worthy of that gift or not. Don't decide for them, let them decide, okay? And I'll tell you guys that most people, and they're programmed to say no, it's going to happen, but you got to push past that no. And every time I say it, it's not no, it just means not right now, but you have to follow up with those people. You just have to, don't lose them. You have to follow up with them. So many times someone has said no, and I've continued to share about my business. I've continued to share about my workouts, and those people come back. And especially when I reach back out to them and I feel like I know them better now, or maybe they feel like they know me better now because I've shared about the business and I've shared about, my life more. So they've seen me more. Okay. So, and don't just give up on them if they say no, right? Consistently add them to your free groups, add them to your Facebook page so they can see what you're doing. Someone said, in the beginning, you guys, when someone said no, I didn't know what to do. I was like, okay, I'll just forget about it. I'll move on. Now when someone says no, hey, I have this free fitness support group I'd love to add you to. Let me add you as a friend so I can, get you into the group. So they're consistently seeing my posts on my Facebook page. They feel like they know me better. They're always seeing my posts in my free fitness support group. Okay. So don't let that be the end of the line. Don't let no be the end of the line. Oftentimes it will come back to you. All right. Number 8, this should be easier, right? Building this business should be easier than it is for me. It should be easier. And I think that that's just confusing simple with easy. Okay, so our business is simplistic. We have a business that is super simple if you follow the vital behaviors every single day. But it doesn't mean it's easy. This business is hard. You know, it takes hard work. It takes time. It takes having a why in your business that's going to push you beyond anything that's going to come in your way. That why, you guys, should not be something that you can just push past. I couldn't push past my why in the beginning when I started of, gosh darn it, I wanted to be here with my kids. I wanted to get them on and off the bus. I wanted to be there when they needed me. That was my why. And I couldn't push past that. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, like my kids never see Brian. Like he comes home and they kiss him goodnight and that's it. Like that's his day. He comes home, sees the kids for a second and they go to bed. I couldn't push past that. There was not a single thing that could happen in my business that would ever make me stop, because that was going to push me every single day. And it did. And then, you know, once he was able to stay home full time, I was like, gosh, you know, I really had to reevaluate things. I had to find a different why. And I did. I found the why of, you know, great, we're doing amazing financially, you know, but there's people in my family that are not doing so amazing and that I'm helping and that I want to help further with their, you know, financial situation. They're struggling. You know, those are things that I need to, that I needed to reevaluate. And once I found that, I knew that I could push on. And I also had this feeling that, you know, all my coaches started, you know, some of my coaches started to see some awesome success. And I was like, I want that for more people. I want to help my coaches more. So you guys reevaluate your why. Is it strong enough to push you through the people that are going to say no in your business? Is it strong enough to push through those times where you're going to be like, oh, I don't have time, or I don't have the energy right now to send another message? Just think about your why. Okay. If you don't have a strong enough why, reevaluate it and think about it. Okay. This is hard work, you guys, but it's so rewarding. Okay. You know, it's so hard. Like, why would you think of a possible 6-figure earning business would be easy? Okay. Just like building an infrastructure, like from the ground up, that's freaking hard. Like, this isn't as hard as building an infrastructure from the bottom up, right? We just have to do the things we need to do and be consistent with it. Okay. So work harder and smarter. That's it. Brian tells me that every single day. You know, I'm always like, honey, I'm being consistent. I'm working. He's like, well, just work harder and work smarter and find a way to make it work. You know, that's it. He's my voice of reason, and he's the one that pushes me through. But consistently work your ass off, you guys, and you will see changes. I promise you guys, there are times when I sacrificed things, but I knew the potential in this business, and I wanted the things in my life that we have gained now, this time freedom that we have now. It's crazy, but we've worked hard and we still do. Like, this isn't the end for us. We still want to push forward and we still want to do other things with our family, right? We still want to continue pushing, but you might not be able to watch that reality TV show. You may have to tape it and watch it on the weekend, right? You may stay up a little later. I only sleep probably 5 hours a night because I love this business. Okay. I do it because I love it. I know I want to help more people. And I simply know that it's just better than anything else I could do, right? Just helping people. So there will always be highs and lows, you know, those days that you want to pull your hair out, right? Those days that you're just like, yeah, I don't want to hear another freaking no. But then there's days when you're so fulfilled because someone shoots you a message and says, thank you so much. You helped push me through. I finally lost that 25 pounds. Or thank you so much. I finally am consistently doing my workouts and I have the energy for my kids when my husband can't because he's having chemotherapy right now. Okay. Messages, like those are personal messages that I've gotten sharing with you guys. Those are the messages that push me forward. So, you know, those are the days that you're able to, you know, maybe you have a day in your life where you're able to attend your child's event because coaching has helped you to stay home. Those are the days you have to think of. That's what we push through the hard for. Okay. So no, it's not easy, but it is definitely worth it. Okay. It's simple, but it's not easy. Okay. Number 9, this one, you guys, this one like personally hits me. Okay. Number 9, this is the last one. I don't have what it takes to be a leader. Oh my God, how many times have I told myself that? So many times, hundreds and hundreds of times. I started out this business super, super, super shy. And it kind of turned into, yes, I'm not as shy anymore, but oh my gosh, my team is growing underneath me and it's growing so big, but like, I'm scared. Like, I don't want to be a leader. I'm scared to lead them. I'm scared to screw up, right? So many leaders have different talents, you guys. And so many leaders in this business, as you go to events, they're so different, right? Everyone has a different personality. You don't have to be a super outgoing person, or you don't have to know every single thing about the business to be a leader in this business. But what you do have to do is inspire people, right? Really telling yourself, telling yourself that you're not a good enough leader is really telling yourself that you don't believe in yourself. And I definitely didn't. There's days I still struggle. There will still be things in this business that you struggle with years and years from now. But get personal development books that help you with those things. Those are the things that have helped me. There's so many books that have helped me with my confidence as a leader, has helped me to do these calls and to feel better about myself as a leader. And know that you're not alone in these feelings. Like, so many people have these feelings. It's scary to think of yourself as a leader. But these doubts plague people. They do. I was one of them. It plagued me. But here's a quote I want to share with you guys. Leadership is about influence. Nothing more, nothing less. Leaders are agents of change that add value to those around them and make a positive impact in their organization. Good leaders inspire their followers to have confidence in themselves. That's it. And that was a quote by a football offensive line coach, Jason McAndrew. But that quote hits me so hard because it just shows every single one of you that you can be a leader. You don't have to be someone who's been a boss and outside in the corporate world, or you've been a leader before in corporate, or you've owned a business before. Gosh, I never worked in a business ever, like ever. I never worked a corporate job. I worked as a nanny. I worked, daycare centers and things like that, but I was never business oriented. So that's what scared me. But I had to get that out of my head. I had to think, I can be a different type of leader. Maybe I'm not, a numbers person. Maybe I'm not business skills, but I can instill belief in my coaches, and I can share with them the things that I overcame in this business and instill with them that they can do the same thing, right? So anyone can be a leader by showing their team how to build. You just do it by building your own business, right? What's it called? Like, walk the walk and talk the talk, you guys. That's it. You just have to do the things necessary, and then your coaches will see what you're doing and you'll help them. If you're willing to do everything it takes to duplicate in this business, you will inspire people. You will. Without even trying to lead, that's what you'll be doing. And that's kind of what happened to me. I wasn't trying to lead, but it just kind of happened. I didn't intend to build a huge team. I wanted to help people, and I wanted to sign maybe a couple coaches, and that's it. But it just grew, and my love for this business grew even more. And then that's how everything just grew underneath me. And in turn, you kind of have to build your confidence. You have to get in the right mindset of, I can do this. I may be different from other leaders, but I can do this if I can just inspire people to do what I'm doing. So having confidence in ourselves, believing we're worthy, and taking action to reach our goals, that's what inspires others. All right, so I guess the whole rundown of all these excuses is that you just shouldn't believe in any of these excuses, okay? They're just not true. They're just not true. You guys can overcome any of them. And you guys, life is short. We do want to look back at the end of, or do you want to look back at your end of your days knowing that you were brave and audacious, or do you want to have lived a life of excuses, right? You guys are exceptional. You're bound for greatness. If I can do this, if any single one of the leaders on our team can do this, you can. Don't let excuses get in the way. We all have everything we need inside to succeed, but you have to have a few other things, okay? And you might want to write these down. You got to have hunger. Number one, you got to have hunger in this business. You also have to be willing to be coachable, 100% coachable, and to learn the business. Number three, consistency. It's there. I'll always talk about it, but it's always going to be there. Consistency is key. Willing to be uncomfortable, to do the hard stuff, to do the sticky things that, scare you, right? Make you want to pee your pants, make you sweat in your armpits, make your hands clam up. Yes, I've been there. It happens all the time for me. Still does. I'm still sweating on this call. Okay. So you will experience those things. Be uncomfortable though, because those are the things that are going to help you to grow. Okay. I would never have grown into a leader that I feel a little bit of confidence with if I didn't do those things. If I didn't offer to be on my coach's team calls, if I didn't offer to do things that stepped out of my comfort zone, to make videos, to go live on Facebook, the scary crap, right? That's scary, but I do it. It still scares me every time I go live. It still scares me. Okay. But it has definitely helped me grow. Okay. And then you also have to be resilient to keep going in the face of no's and disappointments. That's the last one. You have to be resilient to push through the no's. Okay, it's going to happen. That's just our business. I mean, people are going to say yes, people are going to say no, but don't think about it. Just keep going. Don't let it get to you. Don't let it get in your head. Okay. And lastly, just get out of your own way. Stop building up all of these walls around you. Like, think of these excuses as like cement walls, right? You're going to put all these excuses around you, and you're going to be trapped. You're going to like suffocate because you're not going to be able to bust out and realize your true potential if you have all these walls of excuses around you, right? So start pulling down those walls. You know, you have to start doing that. And just let the light in, you know, let the light in and realize that, you know, you can push past any excuse in this business. If you want it, you know, if you want to grow this business, you can do it. You just have to push through. So, and I guess, you know, if you don't, you know, and you never, ever knock down those walls and those excuses that are holding you back, you're just going to have regret, right? And you don't want to live a life of regret. And I always say it, life is short. You don't want to end your days living with regret. Okay. So push through, rock on. Don't ever think of these things as things that you can't get past, because you can. I've gotten past them all. You definitely can. Okay. So that's all I have. Do you guys have any comments, questions? I'm going to unmute everyone. See if I can. Okay. Any questions? Comments? Michelle, are you still there? Your friend? I know she read this chapter, and I wasn't sure if she had anything to add on this. Who's read this book? You guys got you. If you don't read this book, you guys, like, please get this book. I just ordered a bunch in a box so that I can give them to my new coaches. Justine's got it. Yeah, we're going to be sending these to any coach that signs up that you really feel is going to push forward with the business. So it's that valuable, you guys. I feel like people should have it, and you guys should definitely read it if you haven't already. Michelle, you have anything to add there?
No, that was good. No, just, you got to read the book. I mean, yeah. I don't know how many times I can talk about this book, but it's changed. I mean, our team has, like, holy team. There is transformations in coaches right now going on, like sharing their messages. I can't even believe how they're expressing themselves differently. They believe in themselves. It is incredible. And it's because of this book. And I mean, we talk about this book every single week. We are just like talking about it nonstop all the time. It's extremely, it sits beside me every day, like with all my sticky notes and
I have the same thing on my notes.
I think what you said about the fear, like, it all boils down, if you're not seeing the success that you want, it's usually fear. It's fear-based. And I still have lots of fear. Like, I think people look at other people and think that it's just really easy all the time. And it's not. It's not. So I had to go back to this book.
Hold on, Michelle. Hold on. I'm going to mute everyone because I'm getting feedback. And then I'm going to unmute Michelle. Or Michelle, can you just unmute yourself? Sorry.
Anyways, I just think like that the point about fear is what really holds everybody back. And if you really want this, you have to get past it. And sometimes it's really hard. Some days it's extremely hard. It's extremely hard for all of us. But you got to do it. If you want to see success, there's just no other way. There's just no way around it, basically. So, but the book is amazing. It just hits on every pain point, I think, of every single person that wants to see success. Mm-hmm. You're going to take away something. There's going to be something very valuable in the book for everyone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And the thing you talk about with fear, it's like in a real job, right? In a daily setting at your real job, you're going to do hard things, and you're going to do it with people that probably you're not happy with or that piss you off, right? And we are working with people that we love. We're talking to people every day. We really only have to work with the people that we want to work with. So gosh, it's better than any alternative to me. You know, this is something I absolutely love, and I probably would do if I wasn't even making money. So, you know, just think about it that way. Like, would I rather be in an office setting, or would I rather, or if you are in an office setting now, this could be the thing that pushes you and releases you from that setting and into home and doing this full time. So it's just fear. That's all it is. Just fear. You guys can push past it for sure.
Yeah. I also sometimes think people start this business and think it's going to be easy, and you don't start a new job and think it's going to be easy. Like, no one goes into a new, like, any job, whether you're a nurse or a teacher or, you know, it's hard. There's hard things about everything. And this is a business. It's a business. You're expecting these grand financial changes in your life because of this business. It's going to take some big time work. Like, it's going to take some sacrifices. It's going to take some fear, getting over some fear. You have to do those things to make it what you want it. And it's just a question and a decision. You have to ask yourself if you're willing to do it. It's really quite simple. You just have to ask yourself. I know I'm kind of black and white, and I know that maybe drives people crazy, but I am pretty black and white about this. Like, if you want to see success, you have to decide you want it, and you have to do the things that it takes. The things that you have to do every day are just simple tasks. Sometimes they're scary. It doesn't mean that they're not scary. Or, you know, sometimes you get overwhelmed. We all get overwhelmed with work and all that kind of stuff, but you still have to just decide to do them every single day consistently.
It is mind-blowing to me, because I think about, you know, if you guys think about this business as a 6-figure, 7-figure earning business, which it potentially can be, and it is, you know, think about the jobs out there that make you 6 figures and the things that you have to do every single day. You know, the doctors, the lawyers, they have to do hard stuff, and stuff I would never, ever want to do. So yeah, put it in that perspective. Like, this is a real job, and you have to make it a business. You have to think like that. You can't just think, oh, this is just a hobby I'm doing on the side. I mean, if you want it to be, it can be. But if you want to grow this thing and have it be the business that it is, you just have to do it. That's all. Do the simple things consistently every dang day, right?
I think it's even like just as simple as like looking at your business, and are you where you want to be in it? And if you're not, then what are you not doing? Because if it's not working for you right now, there's something that you're not doing. And the reason you're not doing that is because you're scared to do it.
Yeah.
So it really...
Mommy's right.
Yes, Mommy. I love it.
So it is just kind of as simple as that. Like, you're not doing something. Like, all of us are holding back in one way. Like, I know I am for sure. And it's because of fear. So it's just a matter of looking at your business and why you're not where you want to be yet. Just doing those things.
I think that's why it's important to write things down too, right? Like, write down what you're doing each day. I had to do that one day, because Brian's like, where's all your time going? What are you doing in this time that you have? And I was like, he's like, make a list. Just show me like what you're actually doing. And I was like, okay, oh my God, I just scrolled the newsfeed. I'm going to write down, I scrolled the newsfeed. I just went to run to go get groceries, and I write that down. And then you think about all the things that you can delegate, or all the things that someone else can do for you. Like, Brian will go run groceries, or if he has to one time, if I have a phone call, you know, but you have to be doing the things that are vital to growing your business, and kind of making everything else less of a priority and pushing it off to maybe later on in the day or the next day, you know? So
I think that is so valuable, knowing where you're spending your time. I started reading the 10X rule again just a couple weeks ago, or a couple days ago. And the chapter that I read this morning was how there's people that all of us think we're putting all this work into the business, right? Like, even if you're not seeing success, you're often feeling like you're putting all of this work into it. And I mean, I just had a coach on our team post on our wall about a T4. In Canada, it's T4. I don't know what it is in the States, but her income statement. And she wasn't getting one in the mail. And for us, if you don't make over $500, you don't get that slip. And she came back and said, oh, well, I didn't make over $500, so I won't get a slip. And that broke my heart because I know that she feels like she has worked so hard all year at this, but somewhere along the line, she's not doing the stuff that she needs to be doing because she is not less of a person than me. She's not less of a coach than me. Like she has all the same stuff as me. And to think that she put all that effort that whole year and didn't even make a $500, it just makes me like, so somewhere along the line, even if she only has 2 hours or 1 hour or half an hour a day to do this, she should have been making over $500 with the time and effort she feels like she's putting in. So somewhere the time is being wasted. She thinks she's doing the right behaviors, but she's not. And it really boils down to, where are you spending that time? I know most of us are not like Amy and I that have the luxury of staying home now. We've worked really hard to get there, but I know what it's like to still be working full time and doing this when you only have a very short amount of time to get all those things done. Gosh, you just have to make sure that's what you're doing and not screwing around, basically.
And I know Michelle and I have done that. Like, we've totally had to reevaluate things and be like, oh my God, I'm totally wasting time on this. Like, I would make Canva pictures and like my new coach pictures I'd spend a half hour on. And like, I don't do that anymore. I'm simplistic and I do it really quickly now. You just have to really, really value yourself. Like, is this what I'm doing right now pushing me forward in my business? Is this making this fancy picture or scrolling news feed or getting caught up in my email when I should be focusing on my invites, right? You have to reevaluate everything. For sure. So awesome stuff. Cool. But read the book, you guys. Oh my gosh, I haven't even finished. I keep going from chapter to chapter, and I've reread other chapters various times. So it's just one of those books that you can't put down, and you reread and highlight and put papers in. So, but get the book if you don't have it. So, all right, guys, push past the excuses. Have a fantastic Monday. Bye, everyone.